Once upon a time, a class of students undertook a great challenge to prepare and present an introduction speech. One girl, Miss Megan Daly, struggled to find a way to organize and present her speech. Could she question the audience? Give them an interesting quote to think about? Could she surprise them with something exciting? In the end, she decided to present it the best way she knew how, in a short, 3-chapter story about her hobbies: reading, writing, and cosplay. Chapter 1, The Reader. Miss Megan's love for reading started in 5th grade when she discovered Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. Much to the chagrin of her 5th grade math teacher, she would leave class a few minutes early every day to get a new one of these books. When she reached the end of the series, she moved on to the rest of the library's fiction section. Now she still reads in any free time she has, and also collects her own books, so she doesn't have to leave early from anywhere to go get another one. While reading these wonderful, interesting books with different characters and stories and plots, she wondered, what about the ones that I haven't read? What about the ones that aren't even written? What if I'd like to read those? So clearly, the best answer was to write them down herself. Chapter 2, The Writer. Miss Megan began writing, as most writers do, with fan fiction. Fan fiction is a form of story written by the fans of a book or a movie about characters and worlds from those books and movies. This is a good way to get practice using other people's characters and worlds, and still create your own situations and plots. For instance, Miss Megan started writing about Danny. This was a cartoon that included ghosts, half-ghosts, and crazy parrots. And with them, she could put them in different situations that were completely different from the plot of the story. With this fanfiction, she also found an online community of other writers. These people became her family, friends, and teachers. They helped her edit her stories and hone her skills. When her skills grew enough, she began to write her own stories with her own characters and her own words. She started with short stories, either put out online or printed out and given to whatever friends could be found to read them that day. She now has a novel-length story, currently in its 2nd draft. She's also furthered her community. This story is not being edited online. She has in fact joined a group called the Columbia Writers, who meet together in person a few times a month to iron out each other's stories. Now, in writing her own stories, she began to wonder, was there another way to express her characters? Something physical, some sort of play acting maybe, in costume. Due to her reading and writing community, she was introduced to the world of cosplay. Chapter 3, The Cosplayer. Cosplay is defined as the act of wearing a costume from a movie, book, or video game. However, it has been expanded to include reality TV shows, regular games, and some TV commercials. Through her reading and writing community, she learned about cosplay and conventions. Conventions are where cosplayers can go to show off their own work and appreciate that of other people's. There are also some competitions, although Miss Megan never felt confident enough to join in those. She and her father now go to these conventions, one including Otakon, which happens in Baltimore every year, and any others they can get to during the year. They have fun making the costumes together and showing them off to other people. Outside of the conventions, Miss Megan has one constant cosplay accessory: a pair of plastic cat ears that she wears whenever she can get away with it. Cosplay has become a big part of her life, and with reading and writing has become one of her favorite hobbies. Miss Megan has many hobbies, but most of them have branched off from these 3. Reading has given her a community of friends and family and teachers that she can learn from. It has also given her a love of the written word. Writing has given her a way to express herself in this field, and has led her to become one of the first 2 students to get AACC's Creative Writing Associate's degree. Cosplay has further extended her community and her way of expressing herself into a physical form. It has also taught her a little bit about papier-mâché and study. All three of these have given her the confidence to stand up in front of people and complete the great challenge to write and perform an introductory speech.